Hi, my name is Sylvie. I am a certified health coach and yoga instructor. And today's routine is a stretching routine for the middle splits. It includes some of my favorite stretches for the middle splits. You'll find that we'll be holding the stretches today longer than usual. And the reason for that is that as I have been growing in my flexibility training practice, I've learned that longer holds yield more result, and gaining enough flexibility to achieve some poses is not the same as warming up and stretching to get in poses that you can already do. In the case of the middle splits, I've been training for the middle splits for almost 2 years now, and progress is slow. So I created this routine for myself. With experience, I think that's what I need, and that's what's gonna help me get there. In the blog post, you'll find alternative stretching routines that you can check out if you're a beginner. If you find today's routine too difficult, you can always look those up. What you're gonna do is you're going to bring your right leg in front of you at a 90-degree angle, and your left leg on top of it at a 90-degree angle. And if you find that too hard, you can straighten your right leg and stretch just like so. But here I'm going to stay, and what I like to do is to pretend that I am sitting on a conveyor belt. So you can imagine that your butt is being dragged back as your chest is going forward. And that is how you'll get a good stretch. We're gonna stay in this pose for about 3 minutes. And what I'm gonna do for this video is I'm going to have a timer, which you can see now, to show you how much longer you have left on your stretches. I find that if you are in a long stretch, sometimes it helps to know how much longer you have left. And then if you feel very uncomfortable and you see how much left, that might help you stick with it. Another thing that you can consider is once you've gone through this routine, tune me out, mute me, and do something that you enjoy as you're going through these stretches. These are long holds, and you can listen to a podcast, listen to your favorite music, do something else while you're stretching. There's no need to just look at a video and listen to me every single time. And as you open up, you'll get deeper and deeper in this stretch. And eventually, you might even be able to bring your forearms down on the mat. I'm not there yet. I cannot bring my forearms down, but I find that I can put the palm of my hands on the mat and push my butt back, my chest forward, and I feel that stretch. Time to switch leg. Now you're going to have the left leg under the right leg. Again, both your legs are at a 90-degree angle. You'd be surprised if you look at other YouTube videos and other stretching routines. So many of these routines that you'll find online are meant for people that can already get into the poses. And really, stretching to get in a pose when you can do the pose already will look a lot different than stretching to become flexible enough to get into that pose. I've been learning that the hard way. I've tried so many stretching programs and I've done so many stretching routines as I have been growing in my flexibility practice. And that's why I created my flexibility program, because I've learned so much and I figured I had enough that I could share and help other women who have similar goals as I do. Also, as someone over 40 who's been training to become more flexible and stronger, and who had never been that as a younger woman even, I also find that's another factor to consider. It does take longer as you get older, but you don't need to invest that much time every day. As long as you're consistent, I find that 15 to half an hour every day is enough to see great results. It makes you feel so good too. I used to struggle with back pain and no more. Ever since I started working on my flexibility, I never ever have back pain, which I find pretty incredible. We have about 30 seconds left on this side. The next stretch, we're gonna hold for only a minute on each side because I've organized this routine in a way that we hold the stretches that are more productive for longer. So you're stacking your knees, like I'm doing right here. You can lift up a bit if you need to, and you can stack your knees. This one, although it's a great stretch, it really is not one of the main stretches that will get you to your middle splits. So we'll stay here for about a minute. You're still bringing your butt back and your chest forward. Pull your chest forward, and it helps to feel your hands pulling towards you, to have this action of your butt going back and your chest pressing forward. Let's switch leg. Next, we're gonna do the butterfly stretch. You're gonna bring the sole of your feet together, and you can just stay here and stretch. If you feel that stretch in your inner thighs and it's effective, stay here. Again, feel your butt going back and your chest moving forward. Keep that same action. You can make sure that you're engaging your inner thighs by pressing the sole of your feet together, and your big toes are pressing together, and that helps engage your inner thighs a bit more. And so you can play around here. And I've been finding that the butterfly stretch has been not as effective for me lately. I was doing it quite a lot for a while. I wanted to get down further and to be able to, almost put my head down in the stretch. I can do that pretty well now, but I wasn't so sure that I was going to include it today. What happened is I discovered that if I move from side to side, it does help me stretch into my inner thighs more. And so that's what I'm going to do here. It's important as you go through these routines that you learn to listen to your body. What my body needs may not be the same as what your body needs. And so you learn to listen to your body and see what is feeling good, what seems to be opening you up. Next, we're going to do the half splits. And the half splits is going to be more of an active stretch today. You're going to fold your yoga mat because it's going to help cushion your knee. And have your left leg more like in a frog pose kind of thing, with your toes facing out, and then extend your right leg. And so what you're going to do here, you're going to use the strength of your legs to pull you up. You're going to stay here for about 5 seconds. And then you're going to lower yourself back onto your forearms and stretch here for about 10 seconds. And then back up. We do that 3 times on each side. So back up for 5 seconds. Then lower yourself back down. And you can move in and out of the stretch here by moving your pelvis. And then back up one last time here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 10 seconds. I'm gonna switch side. I'm gonna start up here, using the strength of your legs to hold you up for 5 seconds, and then back down, stretch here. Five, four, three, two, one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, last time up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And last 10 seconds. Okay. Next, we're going to get in the pancake stretch. The pancake is kind of similar to the middle splits. So obviously it does stretch similar muscles. And as you do this, you can keep your legs closer together. And then you can move your pelvis back and forth, play around with that. If that's enough of a stretch, stay here. I also have a full follow along pancake stretch routine. You can check that out. And you can see if you want to try going to one side and then the other side, you can always try that. But I don't find that that stretches me that much. I usually stay in the middle. When you're in the pancake, you make sure that you press your heels down on the mat. They'll help engage your thighs here. They'll be facing the ceiling. Sometimes I like pressing my ankles out with my hands like that. Need 20 more seconds. And next, you're gonna need a wall to stretch. And here for this wall stretch, you can use ankle weights. You really don't have to, but I like using ankle weights. It just helps make the stretch a little bit more intense. And we're gonna stay here for 3 minutes in this stretch. It's nice. It's a nice relaxing stretch. You're just lying on your back. I like to play around with pressing my tailbone down. I find that if I press my tailbone down, It seems to engage my inner thighs more. It helps stretch them more. And so you can point your toes, and as you open up, just bring your feet lower on the wall. Bring your legs back together. Now you can remove your ankle weights. We're still going to be using the wall for our next stretch, but this time you're gonna bring your feet right on the wall here, and you're going to press your body as close to the wall as you can. We're staying here for 2 minutes, and this stretch may be very intense. I don't know. For me, it was very intense when I got started. And if you find it any of those stretches intense, you can ease out a little bit and also focus on really relaxing your muscles. Just breathe in the stretch and just try to relax as much as possible. And then as you open up, what you can do is you can press yourself closer to the wall. You're gonna open your legs even wider. Also, tilt your tailbone back, your chest forward. Next, we're gonna do a nice long frog pose hold. We're going to be holding the frog pose for 5 minutes, and you don't have to start at 5 minutes the first time you do this video, right? You can work up to it, but 5 minutes is your goal. And you can start here on your hands. You can lower yourself on your forearms and make sure that you're bringing your pelvis back. You're not just falling forward. You want to make sure you get a nice deep stretch, and pushing your pelvis back will help with that. Another thing you can try is you can take your chest down on the mat. If you want to finish the 5 minutes and you're struggling and you're finding it hard, ease out. So you can ease out here if you're on your chest. You can lift yourself back up. Sometimes, I've seen people say that bringing yourself up like on your hands, like I'm doing here, makes the stretch more intense. I don't know. I don't find it more intense that way. I find it more intense here. So I guess that depends. I need to ease out a little bit. And you'll find that how long you can hold any given stretch will vary from training session to the next, because sometimes you feel more flexible than other times. Who knows why? Some days I can get in the splits without stretching, the front splits, without stretching at all, but some days I need to stretch first. So Bring your feet back in. We're going to get ready for our last stretch of this middle split stretch routine. And it's going to be the middle splits. So we're going to hold the middle splits for 1 minute. And you may find that hard at first. And actually, I'm tempted to skip that one sometimes. As long as you stretch with the other stretches, skipping it once in a while is not a big deal, right? But obviously, the more stretching you do, the quicker you'll get into that middle split. Maybe that's why I haven't been able to get into my middle splits yet. Because I give up before I don't do that last stretch a lot of the time. So you saw I was holding the blocks, and you can do that. Or you can just hold yourself up on your hands like that and move back and forth in your stretch. And then you can also lower yourself on your forearms. We have 20 seconds left. All right. I feel that. So I hope that you enjoyed this routine. This new middle splits routine will be the main one I'll go through at least a few times a week. And I hope you do that too. If the middle splits is one of your goals, I recommend you stay really consistent with it. If you want to see some progress pictures, I have that on the blog post as well. You'll see my progress picture for the front splits as well as the middle split. And you'll see there's a pretty big difference between the two types of splits. I also have a lot more information and explanations about the different stretching techniques. So I recommend you go and click on the link in the description below.